Hey everyone, Coach Investor back to another video for today. So let's talk about the state of Palantir, some news with regards to the company, the rise of investments in defense technologies from VCs in the United States, how Palantir can actually help these smaller players help governments. There's been a huge demand for more defense startup technologies, especially since the start of the war in Europe. So we're going to have a look at all of that in this video. I do have a comment from an analyst, and we're going to touch on the graph at the end of this video. So let's first start up with this. Funny, startups. Anyways, Silicon Valley VCs rush into defense technology startups. So the war in Ukraine and geopolitical tensions lead to believe that fledgling companies will get a share of US Pentagon budget. This was released on June 20. So US venture capitalists have agreed more than 200 defense and aerospace deals in the first 5 months of this year, worth nearly $17 billion, more than this sector raised during the entire of 2019. Now, US venture investments in defense startups surged from less than $16 billion in 2019 to $33 billion in 2022. Investors piled a record $14.5 billion into such startups in the first quarter of this year. According to interviews with more than 15 investors and founders, this wariness has given way to a belief that startups are finally in line to take a significant share of the US mammoth defense budget, which has grown over 2 decades to reach a record $886 billion for 2024. Which leads us to this article here. Silicon Valley chiefs urge Pentagon procurement overhaul. So open letter designed to apply pressure on US government to open up the $886 billion defense budget to startups. So founders and investors of Silicon Valley defense companies have urged the US government to overhaul the way it procures military systems from private groups, warning in an open letter that the country risks rapidly losing ground on the technological battlefield, which is something that Alex Karp has touched on for a while, right? The fact that huge tech companies such as Google, Microsoft, Apple, etc., for years and years it was viewed as something bad, right? Something that isn't politically correct to help the US military because of some media optics or whatnot. Well, things need to change extremely fast. Now, the signatories include Lux Capital, Kleiner Perkins, and General Catalyst, as well as the heads of some of the most valuable startups in the sector, such as Anduril, Palantir, and Applied Intuition. Now, with regards to Anduril, you might have probably heard of this company. This company was founded by the founder, as you can see here on the screen, by the founder of Oculus, Palmer Luckey. He's been on the All In podcast, I think, twice already, in some other podcasts as well. And what's funny here is that last year we got the news here from their blog, Anduril Industries, to partner with Palantir Technologies to deliver phase 2 prototype of US Army Titan program. Now going back to the article, the letter suggests government's process for buying military technology was antiquated and has drastically limited its access to cutting-edge defense and weapon systems, right? Because if for years and years there have been the same people lobbying to government to buy and spend billions and billions towards the same companies, the Lockheed Martins, the Raytheons, etc., L3 Harris, etc., whereas smaller startups, tech companies, might usually have better technologies, just that they're super small, don't really have access to that military budget, and so they're always overlooked. Well, things might change. The signatories propose a series of recommendations for reforming defense procurement, such as $20 billion in additional spending towards corporate research and development projects, and the creation of a $250 million bridge fund to help companies further develop technology that has been proved to work. It said adopting these changes will dramatically improve the ability of Silicon Valley to deliver the world's best technologies to the war fighter. Now, I do want to add something here that I think the CEO of Anduril said in a recent podcast, that if startups or such companies that are already in talks with government already have a working product, right, already spent millions and millions on developing a product, I think the government has to go with them instead of trying to fund another company's product. I think they can sue the government for that. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what he said in the latest podcast. I'll pop the podcast on the screen. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, we really appreciate that. And if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Now, how will Palantir gain from this? Well, in many ways. One of the ways is a recent announcement. So Palantir introduces Palantir Fedstart, helping SaaS companies do business with the government. So each year, the US federal government spends around $100 billion on software, representing a massive opportunity for your software company to make an impact. That is, if you can gain access. Obtaining the requisite federal accreditation for SaaS solutions is time-consuming, labor-intensive, and costly. So here they basically explain how long it took Palantir. Palantir's own journey to FedRAMP and Impact Level 5 took 4 years of navigating sponsorships and many other things. Then here, the onerous requirements to achieve FedRAMP or Impact Level 5 include the following. So all of this. So basically, what does Palantir do? Well, they introduce Fedstart. Fedstart is the proverbial scissors that can cut through all this red tape. Fedstart serves as an on-ramp to help deliver your SaaS products to the government at the speed of innovation. Your company's products are run with Palantir's secure and accredited environment. No need for a separate FedRAMP or Impact Level 5 accreditation. If you can containerize your software, you can use Fedstart in weeks to sell as an accredited solution for quick product delivery and impact. Fedstart unlocks FedRAMP Moderate and Impact Level 5, the security accreditations required to sell to civilian agencies and the Department of Defense, respectively. Fedstart is on track to support FedRAMP High and Impact Level 6 within the next year. Crucial developments there, of course, this will mean that a lot of companies might onboard with Palantir to get access to such deals. Now, talking about deals, of course, the NHS, we still don't know what's going to happen with the huge contract, but we did get some news not so long ago. So NHS England has awarded Palantir a new £24.9 million contract to transition its existing NHS project into the new federated data platform. A £480 million deal expected to be granted in the coming months. TBD when that announcement will be made. Now up next, a downgrade from an analyst. Now I'm saying downgrade, but it's still a pretty positive note. So investment firm Raymond James downgraded Palantir. But while we remain enthusiastic about Palantir's positioning in AI, we are downgrading our rating to outperform from strong buy, as shares have ascended to approximately $12 billion in market cap and appreciated more than 60% since its early May first quarter print and the launch of its AI platform, and now reflects a material element of our near-term bullishness. Now, despite the fact that he downgraded the stock, but still has outperform rating, he raised his per share price target to $18 from $15. So not all downgrades need to be viewed as negative. And now last thing here with regards to the graph, on a weekly basis, finally we're not overbought anymore. But if you look at this, I think we finished last week just under the 20-day moving average. If we continue like this, we might be testing a bit lower towards the $12 or so. Of course, D2 moving averages will move up a little bit as well. But as the market right now tries to stabilize a little bit with whatever is happening there in Russia, whatever is happening or will be said by Jerome Powell, I think we are due for a little stabilization in the market, especially in the tech sector. So keep an eye on these moving averages. So that will be it for this video. Of course, there's still a long roadmap to go for Palantir, and I'm pretty excited to see that there might be some movement when it comes to government interacting a bit more with startups interacting a bit more with government, because that has been lacking for years and years. So that will be it from me in this video. Of course, do share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.